Hi everyone, so today I'm going to do a tutorial about how to put suede caps on your pointe shoes. This has been commonly requested, so I thought now's the time to actually do a video about it. You can also darn your pointe shoes. I personally just do around the outside, as you can see on this shoe here. Just get it to focus. So I just do round a semicircle round and do about 3 rows. I have a video on my channel about that already, showing you how to do it, so be sure to check that out if you wish to spend some time learning how to darn. Now, the reasons why you need to do something to your platforms is because, generally speaking, the satin, as you can see on this one, has come off, and if you don't do anything to the actual platform, this will happen. Or also, you may find that your platforms wear out faster, and you might find them quite slippery depending on the dance floor that you're dancing on. If you've got a very slippery floor, then you're going to find, in particular, doing turns and pirouettes are going to be a lot more slippy than if you actually had something on the platforms. You will also find that it will give you a bit more stability, generally more stability with darning in my personal preference. A lot of people use the suede caps, which are these. These are the Grishko ones. Let's just get it to focus so you can see them there. There we go. And these are going to fit your pointe shoes, all kinds of pointe shoes, not just Grishkos. But they do need to be cut to fit exactly, and I will show you in a minute how to do that. You can also just get some moleskin, but it is quite fiddly to do that because you would have to actually cut out the shape of the platform yourself, which is quite difficult to get exact. So I do recommend buying the actual pre-cut suede caps. You will need some glue. I recommend either PVA glue or a fabric glue. Whatever you do, do not use super glue. The reason being is it will dry quite hard. And also it might leave little bumps, so when you're actually on point you will feel those bumps, and there's nothing you can do about it because it's super glue and it's already firmly in place. So I definitely recommend using either of those glues. I also recommend putting your glue in a little pot as well, or a lid or something, because sometimes I find if you're new to doing this, you might splurt too much out onto the actual suede cap, and then it's when you put it on the shoe, it actually splurges out the sides, and it's quite difficult to get off. It's best to actually do something to your platforms when they're quite new. That way, this won't happen. Like your satin will come off like this. But don't worry, it doesn't mean your shoe is dead when this happens. It just means that you need to take action about it. And unfortunately, this time round, I'm going to have to cut the satin off both shoes, even though it's only happened to one platform. Otherwise, if I just cut the satin off one platform, but keep the other platform with the satin on, the dancer will feel the difference. Even though it's a minuscule amount, she will feel it on point and it will affect her balance. So it's important that if one of your shoes has had the satin come off, that you do actually take the satin off both of the shoes so they're equal. So as I mentioned, if your shoes are new, you can go ahead and do this straight away, or you feel free to give it a few lessons before you do it. But generally speaking, the sooner you do it, the better it's going to be. As for darning, same thing applies. You can do it when they're new or wait a few lessons. With mine, I tend to do it when they're new. Some people like to darn the full platform and under the pleats, and some schools even get the students to darn down the sides. Now, most professionals just do around the outsides like I've done on mine. Personally, I prefer darning. Let me just give you a few reasons why. I feel that it gives better traction. It's more smoother because I like to feel the satin on the platform when I'm actually on point, as well as having some traction and being able to turn. I have had suede caps on my own shoes, but personally I just feel they feel like there's a bit too much on the shoe. But I would say out of all the people I fit shoes for, majority of them go for suede caps and they like them. So it's all personal preference. Just experiment. if you've got an old pair of shoes, perhaps you could try darning them or popping a suede cap on and going on point and just seeing what you prefer. So you could have like one shoe that hasn't had anything done to it, and then the other shoe you could put the suede cap or darn and then go on point, and then you could maybe put all your balance on one foot and all your balance on the other foot, just to see the difference and see which you would like to do for your, you know, your next new pair. So let's go ahead and tell you what you need. So you've got your glue here. I'm using PVA. You need to get yourself a pen, not a pencil really, because a pencil doesn't really mark the suede cap very well, so just got a pen there. I've just got a lid, an empty lid here to put the glue in. Now I'm going to use a little paintbrush as well, just to ensure that I can get the glue exactly where I want it to go. You're also going to need some sharp scissors. If you're under 18 and watching this video, then it's probably best that you get an adult to help you. Also check with your dance school as well, just in case they don't want you to do anything to your shoes, because I know that some schools are quite strict. So if they've got a preference, like some dance schools prefer it if all the students darn. So, you know, if you've already gone ahead and done the suede caps, they're not going to be easy to get off, so definitely check first. Okay, so hopefully this is a good angle to show you guys how to do this. So as you can see with this shoe here, it's the satin from the platform has come off, well, almost completely. So what we need to do is we need to trim this all off and make a nice clean edge all around the outside as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So let's just get scissors and carefully trim whilst holding the shoe. Don't worry about getting it absolutely perfect, as long as you don't go higher up, lower down, because obviously you don't want the satin to end up peeling off further down the shoe. You just want to take off round the outside so it's a nice smooth base, so when the suede cap is on there won't be any bumps. And remember, you don't have to take the satin off the platform unless the satin has already come off. Just to remind you guys. So I'm just going to get that little bit more off around there. As you can see, it's quite handy if you put your thumb down and then don't go obviously near your thumb, but just so you can push the remainder of the satin up so you can get a really decent trim. Just need to push that bit back a bit here. It will make quite a mess, so I suggest laying some like newspaper down or something if you're cutting the satin off, because there will be a lot of little bits. So just getting a nice smooth base. It's quite handy if you run your finger over the platform so you can get a feel for it, see if you've missed any. I mean, I'm just going to push this bit back a bit here because it's a bit not quite flat. Okay, so there you go. This one's looking nice and smooth now. Now the other shoe, the satin isn't quite gone yet, as you can see. But like I mentioned, we need to take the satin off this platform too. So this one's going to be a little bit more tricky because there's not much to grab onto. So what you do is you just, if you kind of like dig your scissor under like this, then you can really get a tug on it. Just be careful how you do it. And then just simply make a slit and go around the outside of the shoe. I'm just going to stop the video here and then I'll come back in a second once I've got this off, because I'm sure you guys don't want to see me do another shoe. Okay, so both platforms are now ready, as you can see. I've trimmed all the excess off, and as you can see the underside is a little bit tatty, but I've done the best I can there and it shouldn't affect how the suede caps go on. So the next step is to get your suede caps. With these particular ones, these are Grishko, and the Grishko logo, that side is the side that goes on the outside of the shoe, and on the inside that's the part that goes on the actual platform. You'll be able to tell the difference anyways, because the inside is very smooth and the outside is a little bit more coarse. So first of all, you want to grab one of your shoes and one of your suede caps, and you just want to pop it onto the platform. We're just going to line up now and measure. And what you want to do is you don't want to go too far up, because you're going to get some excess left and it's going to look quite untidy. You want to make sure that you're getting right on the platform there, as you can see. And then what you want to do is you're going to fold it over like this. Make sure that you check the alignment from the sides of the shoe as well. And you're going to hold it down, and as you can see we've got this overlapping piece. Now you don't want that, so what you're going to do is you're going to mark with a pen where the suede cap meets the sole of the shoe. It's important that you don't glue it onto the actual sole, because not only does it look strange, but also it's going to feel really weird when the dancer is on the flat in her pointe shoes. It's going to feel unstable and it's going to create a wobble. So it's really important that you don't skip this part. So let's go ahead and grab a pen. I'm just going to try and get the best angle so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to push down with the pen, marking where suede cap meets the sole. You don't have to do a complete line, just grab where you kind of know where it's going to be, like this. And then you're going to go ahead and grab your scissors, and you're going to cut where you've marked with the pen. So take the suede cap off the shoe a second. I'm just going to make a mark with about here, and try not to cut in a straight line, try to go a bit curved, where the natural curve of the sole is, as you can see. So I'm just going to cut that now. Okay, so you should have something like this. And then just to be absolutely certain that you've got the right length, I'm just gonna place it on the platform. Push it down. Now I could take a little bit more off, so it's better to start snipping a slight amount off, because if you go too far in the first instance, then obviously you've ruined the suede cap. So just do a little at a time if you're not sure. Okay, so I've just cut a little bit more off. That's perfect now. As you can see, the suede cap is now lining up with the platform and also with the sole. So to glue it on, the best way to do this is, like I mentioned, I like to get a little pot of the glue, pour a little bit in there, like so. Going to grab a brush, and this is what PVA glue looks like for those of you who don't know. And then simply dip your brush, or if you're going to do it straight from the tube, that's fine, and we're just going to put it on here. But be sure not to go too close to the edge, otherwise when you press this down it's going to splurge out. So I'm just going to pop this down here a second. Let's just move the camera so you can see. Just going to not overload my brush. Pop this on. Do a nice generous layer, but don't go too crazy, because you don't want too much on there. Take it roughly as you can to the sides, but you don't want to go too mad to the sides. So just painting that on. Good to get a good amount in the middle. And down the bottom. Okay. You can just pop your brush on the side so don't go anywhere. Grab your shoe. Just move the camera. Be careful how you pick this up, because you don't want to get it all over yourself. And you grab your shoe, line it up, look at the shoe, so hold the shoe in one hand like this, line up, don't press down just yet, line up where you're going to pop the actual suede cap. As you can see, it's looking like this, and then what you're going to do, hold your shoe and place down like that. And then this part, you're just going to hold your shoe and you're going to push hard on top, smoothing down all the outer corners of the cap, making sure it's nice and smooth. Push down on there, pushing down out and kind of push inwards and outwards so you get a nice smooth application. And then really push down with your hand like this, just so you can make sure that the glue is actually sticking to the platform. Keep checking your alignment. There we go. Show you there. So that's one shoe done. And I'm just going to go ahead and put glue on this other one, which I've just pre-cut. Just do this bit. Just going to put a little bit more glue in here. Same things before, pick your suede cap up. I've got a bit in my hand. As I mentioned, it can be quite messy. Pop it onto your platform. Oops. And then push down. Line it up with where it meets the sole. Making sure that the sides are all pushed down. As you can see, this one just needs a little bit more push down the sides. So really use the palm of your hand to push down. You can also, on a hard surface, push down to get it nice in position and to really get it to stick to the platform. Okay, so there we have it. Both suede caps are now on. As you can see, I can probably just push down the sides a little bit more, and there's still time to do that. So just simply push down the corners. If you get a little bit of glue ooze out the side, don't worry, just use your finger, or you could use a bit of tissue or something. That's better. And then just check your other shoe as well. You've got a little bit of leeway here because it takes a while to dry. It's very important that you allow the shoes at least 24 hours to dry, just in case the glue hasn't quite set. So just place the shoes on the side, not near any heat, so not near a radiator or anything like that, and allow them to dry. And there you go, all done. Well, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a comment below, or come to my Facebook fan page, which is facebook.com/tothepointfitting. My website is www.straighttothepoint.net. My website's currently down as I'm moving hosts. You can find me on Instagram as well. In fact, I put all the links below this box, the detailed box, you know, below the video even, so you can check out all my links. Thanks for watching. Bye.